all right, everybody. This is Bob Baker from Happy Trails with Bob. I promised a video on Wednesday, so I'm doing something a little different today, guys. I'm actually not obviously I'm not outside. I'm in my studio, in my booth, and I am going to. I had Shirley Curry. She asked something about voice. I wasn't sure what she was asking about. So I thought, you know what I'm doing? I'm going to use this opportunity this Wednesday to share with you what it's like to be a professional voice talent, voice artist. And I'm going to use a recent script I had for a ranch called the West Boulder Ranch in Wyoming. And this was an awesome job I did for a client. It was just awesome. And it also allowed me to showcase my old man, I call it my old man voice. You know, this grandfather voice that can be trusted, that, sounds real, sounds like the guy might have lived there. And I'm going to show you how I do this, okay? Let me go in real quick. I want to pop out the chat. Let's see here, live chat. How do I do that? I know there's a way to do it. All right, live chat, popping out. All right, I know there's a way to do it. I've done it before. Here it goes. They've got some weird thing going on with the YouTube streaming now, where they've got all this stuff around there. I don't know what it all is. I don't even see the chat. Where in the heck's the chat at? Enable live chat. Yes, I got that. Yes, done. Oh, there it is. There's the live chat. Let's pop this baby out. I'm going to pop the chat out, guys, so I can see it while I'm doing this in case you guys have any questions, and I can stop and answer them. Okay, so I work on a couple different sites, right? I work on Upwork. I work on Voice Bunny. I work on voices.com. All of these are freelance sites where freelancers can go there and you basically, hey, how you doing? Hello. Where you can bid on these jobs and you put in a demo. They all work differently, but it's basically the same gist. It's basically you look at the job and you try to figure out, okay, is this a good fit for me? How am I going to get this job, right? And just so you guys know, the sound is not going to be, it'll be fine, but just so you know, at the bottom of your screen, you see that there's basically it's called a DAW. It's your digital audio workstation, and I use Adobe Audition. And what'll happen is I record this, and then I go in there and I apply some effects. So maybe I'll show you guys that. Actually, maybe I'll show you that after I record it. So what they wanted for this is they wanted it to sound like someone who might be from that area, from Wyoming, an older guy, wise, trustworthy, and someone who when you listen, you want to keep listening, and they have a warm voice. And again, maybe it's grandpa, down the road, who you feel like, okay, I can trust this guy, and it's not a phony sales job. So, part of what I do, guys, is I look at the script, I look what the client's looking for, and then for this one, I really was able to hone in on this. I call it the old man voice, the grandpa voice, and I'm going to do it for you here in a minute, okay? And one thing I do to get me in the zone, I've got some earplugs in right now. I don't even have the sound on for you guys. Oh my God! Did you hear any of that? But I use these little ones because I do have also a headset that I will use as well. This headset. But the thing in voice work, what you learn, at least I have, is when you wear those headphones and you're hearing your voice in there, what can happen is you sound all good, right? You sound great. And you focus more on how you sound, your voice, making it all DJ-like and sounding all great. And you miss the point of the script. You miss the message. You don't sound natural. So what I do, I wear these little ones, right? And they're not quite as, that DJ sound, the quality is lower. But the reason I wear them is because I play the music that's going to be accompanying the script. So whatever music, if I can get the music from the client, right, I will play that music over my headphones, which I'm going to do for you in a minute. I will play that so that when I'm reading it, it gets me in the zone, and I can match my voice with the sound and the pace and all of that. So that's what I do. Let me get a little drink here. One thing about working in an audio booth, guys, it's really hot. So you always got to have something to drink because it is hot. And I do got some water down here, so I should be actually drinking that. But all right. So again, this was for like a $40 million ranch in West Boulder in Wyoming. A beautiful ranch, has a lot of history. And I got this job on voices.com. It was a tough one to get, a lot of competition for this one. And let's get started. So here's what I do. I got a song. This is the song that accompanies this thing. And when the video comes out, which should be soon, I will share. It is a beautiful, beautiful video. Picture drone footage over this beautiful countryside in Wyoming, the Yellowstone National Park, and just beautiful. So picture this video of these vistas, just beautiful, and listen to the music, and then my voice in there. I mean, I'll share the video when it comes out. It is amazing. All right, I'd buy the property if I had the money. All right, here we go. So let's play the song and let's get into this. Let's do it. And the song is just perfect. I love it. All right. All right, here we go. It opens with some elk in the field. Here we go. A morning on the northern slope of Montana's Absaroka Mountains is like no other. It's a time and a place where, if you tread lightly, you can find hundreds of elk moving from the timber to feed, or antelope grazing on the expansive grasslands, or see the sun's first rays dance upon the river as it glides beneath the shadows of the towering peaks. Watch a rainbow trout cautiously rise to sip a mayfly. This land is special, rare, a precious refuge, and it's here that you'll find the West Boulder Range. Made up of more than 4,100 acres, the West Boulder Ranch runs from the banks of the river to the public land abutting the Absaroka Beartooth Wilderness, which is contiguous with Yellowstone National Park. The ranch is only 45 minutes from Big Timber, Montana, a classic western town, 35 minutes from Livingston, Montana, and 70 minutes from the vibrant university town of Bozeman and its commercial airport. So that is what I did on this one. I mean, that was just a little example. But this, oh, is the music too loud? Oh, okay, good. Tell me, let's do it again. Hello? Okay, let's do it again. And that's one thing I'll do. Let's actually record it. I'll record it in the DAW. Let's do that. And I'll show you what I do with it once I record it. Okay? So let's do this in the DAW. I'm going to bring the DAW up. I'm going to start recording in there. And the DAW is only going to record my voice, not the music. So that's why I'm able to listen to the music in here. And, okay, awesome. Let's do it again. I'm going to record this and I'm going to show you what I do to it afterwards. Here we go. Let's start the music over. All right, here we go. I just love when it gets it. And you see the video. I watched the video, the visuals. Here we go. Here we go. A morning on the northern slope of Montana's Absaroka Mountains is like no other. It's a time and a place where, if you tread lightly, you can find hundreds of elk moving from the timber to feed, or antelope grazing on the expansive grasslands, or see the sun's first rays dance upon the river as it glides beneath the shadows of the towering peaks, and watch a rainbow trout cautiously rise to sip a mayfly. This land is special, rare, a precious refuge, and it's here that you'll find the West Boulder Ranch. Made up of more than 4,100 acres, the West Boulder Ranch runs from the banks of the river to the public land abutting the Absaroka Beartooth Wilderness, which is contiguous with Yellowstone National Park. The ranch is only 45 minutes from Big Timber, Montana, a classic western town, 35 minutes from Livingston, Montana, and 70 minutes from the vibrant university town of Bozeman and its commercial airport. Okay, so was I recording? Did I forget to record? I don't think. Let's see. Oh, no, we're recording. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to show you guys real quick. Let's turn that off. So what I do now, I got this initial recording, right? You know, and I usually listen to what I'll do. I'll actually show you guys here a little bit down here in the DAW. So down here is what we call, again, the DAW at the bottom of your screen. And I'm actually going to go ahead and take this out of, there we go. You guys can see this. And part of, you know, a big part of doing voice work, this line of work, guys, is the technical side of things. And it is, let me tell you, it is a learning curve. If you didn't go to school for this, and I've just basically taught myself, and I've done some consulting with some sound engineers to get some help on this, but this is where, you know, you do a good recording, but man, now you got to take it to the next level. And so part of this is knowing your DAW, this digital audio workstation. Some people will use a Mac. I think it's called Pro Tools. Some people, you can use Audacity, which is free. I use Adobe Audition. I love it, and I'm used to it. So basically what we'll do, let me look to see what you guys are seeing on your screen here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull this up just a little bit so you can still see my ugly face, but you can see more of this DAW. Let's go ahead and bring the script down a little bit. And if you're interested in this, you're going to see a little bit what I do. So I got this raw footage here, right? And what I'm going to do now is the first thing I do is I'm going to come in and I would listen to this to see how it sounds, okay? But one thing, I'm going to throw some effects on it real quick. And what I do, I've got some favorites. So this has been through experimentation, a lot of adjustments, consulting with sound engineers to find the sweet spot for my voice when I basically master these files. So what I do is I'll come in here, and I've got one called October 2017 Ultimate, okay? And so what happens is I'll apply that, and I don't have to worry about removing my sound floor, which is basically the noise you hear when I'm not talking. If you don't have a good studio or you have a loud computer or whatever, my computer's outside the studio, you'll get basically you'll get a hum, you know, in your sound files. I don't get that. I have a low sound floor, low dB. It's about -65, so I don't even worry about taking that out. So I apply this October 2017 Ultimate, and then what I do is I got one called Knock the Tops Off. And what this is, Knock the Tops Off, is if you could see in here some of these, you could see some of these spike up a little bit. There's a couple spikies that are going up here in the sound, in the wave. And see these right here, these little spikers going up. I want to compress that just a little bit, and I call it knock the tops off. And you'll see this happen right now. I'm going to knock the tops off. And you see how they kind of all went down just a little bit? You don't want to over compress it, but you just want to give it a little bit to you know, kind of get that sound file fairly even and avoid some of those spikes that are in there, okay? So that's a little compression work there, just a little bit. I don't want to go crazy. Now I'm going to play, let's go in here and let's see if you can even hear it. I don't know if you're going to, let me look real quick to see if you guys can even hear this. A precious refuge, and it's here that you'll find the West Boulder Ranch. Good, you guys can hear that. Made up of more than 4,100 acres, the West Boulder Ranch runs from the banks of the river to the public land abutting the Absaroka Beartooth Wilderness, which is contiguous with Yellowstone National Park. The ranch is only 45 minutes from Big Timber, Montana. So basically that is after the effects have been added. I'm not going to add any, I wouldn't add any more effects than that. What's going to happen, what would happen next is I come in and I clean this thing up. A morning on the northern slope of Montana. So I'd come in here and start doing, and one thing I'll do is I'll grab a little piece like this, right? Oh, maybe that big, and I'll silence that. And then what I'll do is I'll do Control-C and I'll copy that, right? And, you know, when you work enough in these DAWs, you start learning all these shortcuts and, you know, how to speed things up. Because the editing can take quite a bit, and a Control-V is going to get rid of that stuff. Now I've got a nice slate at the start here, and a morning on the northern slope of Montana's Absaroka Mountains. It's like no other. Now when I edit, I will put on my other headphones because the quality is a lot better. and I can hear everything. I can hear everything that is going on in there, and you got to be super picky when you're going through this, okay? And to be honest, I use the not the heat signature, but basically this red signature, almost like the matrix down here, more than I look at the WAV file. And I'm going to show you what I do in there. So I'll play this.
A morning on the northern slope of Montana's Absaroka Mountains. It's like no other.
So I heard something right away in there. So I'll come in here, and you see this little spot right here? You see that little line? Because I've been doing this so much. You see that line might not look like anything to you, but I know that line is a sound I don't want. And I also know this little spot right here. I heard a little noise there. I'm going to do a Control V. And let's do a Control U and heal that. And so basically, I'm going to start cleaning this up.
Mountains. It's like no other. It's a time.
And depending on the work on this one, I did leave a little bit of breath in some spaces because a lot of the work you'll take your breath out. So it's silent, they don't hear you breathing. But sometimes if you want people to think you're a real guy from the mountains of Wyoming, who's not a professional voice actor in a studio, just some old guy they can trust. Well, that old guy you can trust is going to breathe. He's going to have some breath. So I left a couple in there to make it sound more authentic, right? This is a real work of art. People, if you don't know, if you've never done voice work or you don't know anything about it, it's not just recording and call it good. There's a lot of work you got to do.
It's a time and a place where, if you tread lightly, you can find hundreds.
And see, I'm going to leave that breath in right there because it sounds like some old dude who smoked too much.
If you tread lightly, you can find hundreds of elk moving from the timber to feed, or antelope grazing on.
And if I want to do some, normally if you read something like I did, the spacing is going to be good, right? But sometimes it's not. And so you can come in and then start adjusting, gaps in time
moving
and things.
From the timber to feed, or antelope grazing on the expansive grasslands. Or see the sun's first rays dance upon the river as it glides beneath the shadow.
Okay, so now I'm not going to go through and bore you with the whole editing, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do now. To add the music in, we got to do a mix, basically a mix, okay? So what I'll do then is let's come in here and we'll do a multi-track session, and I'll show you how this works now. So a multi-track session is basically when you're coming in here and you're going to add multi-tracks, and we're going to use this right here, this first one. And I know the music, so now I'm going to go find the music for this, and the music is going to be in my scripts right here, and this one is called West Boulder Ranch. And the one thing you'll notice, you maybe don't notice, but if you do, it is stereo. So the thing I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this to mono, and I'm going to come back in here, and we're going to drag this into our session here that we're doing. And let's bring this down so you can see both. So here's these two tracks, right? And they're all sitting. Let's listen real quick.
A morning on the northern slope
of
Montana's Absaroka Mountains. It's like no other. It's a time and a place where, if you tread lightly, you can find hundreds of elk moving from the timber to feed, or antelope grazing on the expansive grasslands, or see the sun's first rays dance upon the river as it glides beneath the shadows of the towering peaks, and watch a rainbow trout cautiously rise to sip a mayfly. This land is special.
I want to go there.
Rare, a precious refuge. And
all right, so now the one thing I do is if the music's too loud, I might come in here and drop the dB a little bit on the music so that the voice part is clear.
A morning on the northern slope of Montana's
the other thing I'm going to do,
Absaroka Mountains. It's like no other. It's a time.
A lot of times if you put your music with a track, what I have found is adding a little bit of air into your voice, a little bit of space into it. It sits better with the track. So what I'll do is I'll come in here and I will add an FX basically. And the one I like to use is a special. It's called mastering. And I'll hit default because what I'm looking for is really just to get that air in there. And how I do that, and I'll play this for you. You might be able to pick this up.
In a place where, if you tread lightly,
I'm gonna add a little bit of reverb.
Hundreds of elk moving from the timber
just
to
a little
feed,
bit,
or antelope grazing on the expansive grasslands,
and a little
see
bit.
The sun's first rays dance
just a tad. You don't want to get crazy with this.
Glides beneath the shadows of the towering
and I think
peaks,
that's about it.
Watch a rainbow trout.
It's going to add a little bit.
Rise to sip a mayfly.
You hear that?
This land is special, rare, a precious refuge, and it's here that you'll find the West Boulder Ranch. made up of more than 4,100 acres, the West Boulder Ranch runs from the banks of the river to the public land abutting the Absaroka Beartooth Wilderness.
All right, you guys get the idea.
Which is contiguous with...
So a job like this took me, I don't know, realistically altogether 3-4 hours. There was, I think, 2 or 3 takes. And I played with a lot of the sound, tweaking it. You want to get it perfect, okay? I'm going to show you what I just did. That's going to be a great example for you of what you can do after you've recorded your voice, right? And the client is out of Dubai, and they initially wanted. Well, I'm gonna play both for you. I'm gonna play both for you because it's crazy what they did and what I had to do for this job. Let's see. We'll do Panifico test. No, old time. Panifico mix version 5. Let's open that one up. And you're going to hear this so extremely different. And we're going to open up Panifico old time. And this is going to show you like the challenge of sometimes doing these. We'll do old time mix version number 3. Yeah, I think that's it. Yes. All right. So this is for a sandwich shop in Dubai. Okay. And it's a 30-second radio ad that's going to be playing there. And let's go to mix version. Yes, we'll play this one first. This was their script. I worked with them on the script. I found the music, did the music, put it all together. But the thing is, you got to get in 30 seconds, right? And it can be a challenge if the client is not willing to give up some of the script, right? And so these can, 30 seconds doesn't sound like a lot. These can be tough, really tough, because if you do a voiceover for 500 words, the client's not going to be as critical on every word. You do one for 30 seconds, they are going to be critical on every word you say in this 30 seconds. The problem is you're saying it so fast, it is really hard to get every word exactly like they want it. So here's what we finalized the first time. Here you go.
Our restaurant is luxurious, decadent. Yeah, right. You mean overpriced and totally not worth it. How about something different? Panifico, DIFC's owner-operated sandwich shop, was founded on the simple belief that better ingredients make better sandwiches. 500,000 sandwiches later, we're thrilled to announce the opening of our new shop in Media City. Call 800-PANIFICO or order online exclusively on Deliveroo. Panifico, better ingredients, better sandwiches.
Okay, so that was the first commercial. We were good to go. I'd worked hours and hours and hours on this. And he calls me the next day and says, Bob, it was awesome, but guess what? I got bad news and good news. The bad news is it doesn't work. He goes, I talked to my team. They didn't like the script. They said it was too commercial, too whatever. So the good news is you're hired. So basically, imagine that 30 seconds took, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours of work. I mean, it was crazy. And so I had to redo it. But this time they wanted a voice from the 1920s, okay? They wanted a whole new script, voice from the 1920s America. And I was like, okay, I don't know if I can do this. But I think I rose to the challenge. He was an awesome client. So now you're going to hear the whole new version. This is going to play on the radio in Dubai, which I'm really excited about. I think it's awesome. And on the 3rd largest radio station there, they're a sandwich shop. They love their sandwiches. They wanted an old-time theme, kind of nostalgic, different. And this is, yeah, well, that was the intent, Zen. It was supposed to be them comparing their sandwich shop to some of the high-end restaurants in Dubai. We've all been there. You go to get some food at a high-end restaurant, you get a little portion this big, and the food sucks and you pay an arm and a leg. So that was they were kind of doing that comparison. On a 30-second one, what you do is you hit people with the problem. Like, this is your problem, this is who we are, and this is how we can help you. That's kind of like the framework for a radio ad, okay? So this is the new version, which I almost gave up, but it actually turned out, I think, pretty good. And the client is happy, and actually I'm going to be doing some more work for him as well, so that's awesome. Here we go. So check this out. You guys might like this.
In the modern age, your time is precious.
When you're hungry, you need your food lickety-split. Why sacrifice quality for speed? Introducing Panifico, Dubai's gourmet sandwich shop and espresso bar. Smashing sandwiches ready in a flash. Splendid salad served in a jiffy. Marvelous. See us in DIFC or visit our brand new outlet now open in Media City. Call 800 Panifico or order just about everywhere only on Deliveroo. Panifico Sandwich Shop. Less time waiting, more time carrying on. Doesn't that sound swell?
So I mean, you can see the extreme differences between the first one and the second one. And this one was a feat. One was I had to research a little bit how they talked back then, and also finding the music, and then also using the DAW, the audio workstation. And basically what I had to do is go in with some effects. And for something like this, what you'll do is go in, and I think on this one, what I used was, where is it here? Was the FFT filter? Let me see if it's this one. Yeah, I used the FFT filter, and I came in and I applied, I think it was the on-hold EQ. And this is what creates this old-time, the sound, the tinny sound back then. They didn't have the same setup we do now, the bass and all that. Back in the day in the 20s and stuff. So that's why that sounded like that. But the other thing that's interesting about it is I learned some things about how that sound is. When you listen to them, what is that sound from the 20s? How come they sound different? And the reason they sound different, it's called the Mid-Atlantic accent. So what I learned was they actually, in the 20s, they used to actually teach this accent called the Mid-Atlantic accent, or that's what they eventually called it, in schools in America. And it really caught on with like actors and actresses, this unique sound where it's almost a blend of American and British, somewhere in between. And the reality is that's why I ended up with the name Mid-Atlantic, because it's between British English and American English. And mid-Atlantic English. So I had to kind of start practicing that and trying to do it. I didn't think I could do it, but it came out okay, I think. And it helps, I think, adding the effect in there, kind of thing that make anyone sound like from that day. The one thing they do is they really emphasize their T's, it's hot, hot. They really say those T's. And at the end, like bar, they would say like the ba. They don't say the vowels as harsh as we would nowadays. So there you go. More than you probably ever wanted to know about voice work. So, guys, I just wanted to share that with you today. I hope you enjoyed it, even if you're not into, obviously, voice work or this kind of stuff. I just wanted to give you a little insight of what I do 24/7. I was up till 3 in the morning last night working on the old-time one, getting that finalized. And I had 2 more clients who asked for some more work. So, this is what I do. And one thing I'm going to be doing is, you can see I'm in this booth, right? But in the future, this thing is, I don't know, this is like my second recording area. I started off with just blankets over my head. Then I had a blanket booth. And then I made this one myself. But it's only like, I don't know, 4x4, 4x5. It's tiny. And that does a couple things. It affects the... Thank you, Zen. Yeah, it was crazy. But it's super damn hot in here. You're claustrophobic. It's not the best acoustics inside when you have a really small space, but it gets the job done. I'm going to build a new studio out in my garage, and I'm really excited about that because it's going to be bigger. I can have basically like an office out there and basically take my gear out, set it up, record throughout the day. In the summer, I can open the garage doors while I'm editing. It's just going to be a lot better. And I might do a video a little bit, maybe when I'm building that. Might be kind of fun. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope everybody's doing well. And this was not my normal out for a walk. In fact, I went to go for a walk today, and it was so damn cold, I didn't do it. So everyone has that day where you just say, it was too warm in the car. I had a coffee. I thought, you know what? I ain't doing it today. That's okay. Tomorrow I can get back on the horse and do it. Big shout out to Shirley Curry again. I saw on her video she's gotten on the treadmill. She's walking. That's awesome. And I encourage you guys, if you've not been out for a while, try to get out there and get healthy. It's an awesome thing. And I wish you guys all the best. Any questions before I go
Going once, going twice. Thank you, Zen, Min Max, Wyatt Trax, Pizza Manapez, and anybody else who joins my channel. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Cheers, peace. I wish you guys an awesome day, hump day, and it's going to be an awesome weekend coming up. All right, cheers, peace, guys. Thank you so much.